gentlemen, a very warm welcome in this really rather chilly room, but we will warm it up, I'm sure, with our conversation. So let me tell our audience a little bit more about who you are and your organisations. Guillaume, you are Chief Executive Officer of Rexel Group. Rexel is a global leader distributing electric and energy efficient products and services to professionals in the industrial, residential and non-residential end markets. Dirk is in the middle, CEO of the Voith Group, which is an almost 160-year-old German family business and one of Europe's technology leaders, engaged in three core industries: hydropower, papermaking and drive technology. Dirk is steering Voith through one of the most significant modernisation phases in its history, reshaping a traditional machinery icon into a future-ready technology group. So we look forward to hearing more about that. And also we have got Thomas Mackenbrock. In fact, that's Thomas. I'm looking at the wrong people there. I knew I'd do that. So yes, thank you. Thomas in the middle, Group Deputy CEO of TP Teleperformance, a global lead in digital business services, operating across nearly 100 countries with 500,000 professionals worldwide. So welcome to all three of you. Great to have you on the panel today. So let's first of all start talking about sustainability and energy transition. Guillaume, if I can start with you. So you're a distributor of electrical equipment. Rexel contributes to accelerating global electrification trends. So explain to us how you're using AI to that end.
Yeah, for us, first of all, AI is a major change in the electrification of the world. We are a distributor of electrical materials, and the rise of data centers, all the infrastructure which is necessary to power AI, is a major change to that. And if you take an example, for us it's both an opportunity, because, for example, despite the fact that data centers represent only 5% of our business, 2/3 of our growth this year were generated by that. But on the other side, this big opportunity is also a challenge for the whole supply chain, because it comes with bottlenecks, it comes with a massive infrastructure, and it comes with difficulties in terms of availability of skilled workforce to install. And that's why it gets interesting, because AI is both the source of the problem and also the way to help solve those problems, because what we are doing is helping our customers gain time through the use of advanced AI tools. If I take one example, for example, today we have AI tools which make it able for customers to simply do quotes immediately by visiting a job site without having to get back to documentation and get back to after hours investigation. What used to take hours is now done in minutes. So in a way, we have here both a big challenge for the electrical industry and at the same time new tools, easy to develop, which are helping solve the challenge of availability of workforce. That's quite exciting.
Okay, thank you. Dirk, Voith is a leader in industrial sustainability. So tell us how you are helping industries achieve both operational efficiency and also environmental goals. How does AI come into that?
Now we try to use AI in order to optimize the operations of our customers, to reduce costs in operation, reduce downtime by condition monitoring, predictive, preventive maintenance, by optimizing the consumption of water, energy, and of course reducing waste and CO2 emissions. So we use AI along the whole value chain in every aspect. So we use it for our paper machines, for our customers, the operations. We use it for our hydropower plants in optimizing and monitoring the operation in real time through the process. AI is there since long. We use modern technology since decades. Before we used modern software, machine learning, software as a service. Now it's more and more AI. Very often our clients or even our employees don't even recognize where we apply AI algorithms, because it's everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Part of everyday life now to a certain extent. Thomas, welcome to you. Given TP's commitment to ESG, which you can tell us a bit more about, and its global scale, how do you ensure that sustainability initiatives translate into a measurable impact for both your clients, but also, importantly, for local communities?
Thanks for having me. As you said, TP is a global business services company. We have almost 500,000 people around the world. And for us, sustainability means having a direct impact on our key resources. That means human talent, time, and data and technology. And when I see how we use AI and technology today, for instance, with our TP Cloud Campus, where we enable for 10,000 of people working from home It has a direct benefit for them, less commute to the work, it's sustainable, less consumption and CO2 goes down, as well as better outcomes and quality of our clients. So we look really at these ways how we can drive win-win solutions with technology for our own people, our clients, and the local communities.
Okay, thank you. So let's talk a bit about technology and operational excellence. Dirk, to you first. So Voith is pioneering technologies in various industries I mentioned before, such as hydropower, paper making, and also drive technology. So can you share an example of how your digital solutions have transformed operations for your clients?
We have, for our paper customers, for example, we have a solution that's called Mill One. It's a complete condition monitoring system where we monitor all sensors along the process of paper making. We can also use AI to create the user interfaces in real time. So if the customer wants to have different user interfaces, we can optimize that, and the programming, the coding is done automatically in the background. So what does it mean is, normally you have, when you control a paper machine, you have a full control room with more than 20 screens, you're monitoring all the different process steps. We can simplify that and you get one screen, and depending if you're the CEO, the operator or technician, you get different screens and you have all the functionalities that you need at your fingertip. You can dig deeper whenever you need, but you don't get confused by too much data that you don't need for your current function or for the task that you're looking at. Same thing for all our hydropower plants. We do condition monitoring in real time. We, for example, do now also try to use radar for screening the measurement of the rotation of our equipment to see in early stages if there's anything that needs to be repaired so that we can avoid downtime of the plants. What is maybe too important to know, our hydropower plants last more than 100 years. So we see our equipment coming back every 10, 20, 30 years, and otherwise it's running. And while we condition monitor our systems, we can predict and prevent failures, we can reduce downtime, and we can optimize the operation costs for our customers.
So making efficiencies, basically.
Yes,
yeah.
And AI makes that much more efficient than in the past. So we can really in real time analyze the data from many thousand sensors and with that react in real time.
Yeah, and we've heard that in a few examples, a few different businesses, how AI can look at so many different things at once that the human brain can't quite analyze in the same way. Guillaume, which type of applications or tools, in your view, have had the greatest leverage effect on your business?
Look, you have to understand that approximately half of our workforce are inside salespeople, which means that they're working in what you could call call centers, but with a lot of dimension of expertise. So it's a perfect candidate for artificial intelligence. You know, if I take an example, 1/3 of their time is spent answering quotes, which means that they receive a description of what the technical job is going to be. They have to look into technical documentation, advise the customer, sometimes suggest alternatives, and all of that used to take hours because it's a very cumbersome process with a little bit of technical knowledge, going into the ERP to look at pricing, etc. All of that, with the help of AI, can be transformed into something which can be done in minutes. And obviously it has to be checked, for accuracy, etc. But even if you transform 1 hour into 1 minute, into 10 minutes because of having to check, it's an incredible productivity gain. Another example has to do a little bit with what Dirk was mentioning in terms of expertise and knowledge. For us, a big part of our time is spent advising customers on what product to choose. They are not necessarily electrical experts and they need advice on that. And this advice is not always available at the basic level of our inside sales. They have to call an internal expert. And for many of those questions, which are technical but relatively basic, we were able to train internal chatbot, to accelerate that. The benefit is obviously for the customer, because the time to get the answer is much faster, and it's also a benefit in terms of productivity. So if I take figures, in the time of those more than 10,000 inside sales, before 2022, we were able to address and to optimize maybe 20%, which was basic order taking. Today, thanks to new AI tools, we are probably able to address, in terms of optimization, 80% of their time. So not all of it is going to be automated, but in terms of a game changer in terms of productivity, for a company like ours, that's extremely powerful. and it means benefits for the customer and for the company.
Okay, thank you. Thomas, TP positions TP.ai as a new operating system for work, not just a tool. So can you perhaps share a concrete example of how your AI automation initiatives are improving operational efficiencies and customer experiences for your clients?
So first of all, implementing technology is not a new phenomenon. Over the last 20 years, it's all about orchestrating technology with human talent. And of course, AI is now the same chapter. Very similar what Guillaume said, there are amazing tools available with AI that fosters more time for the human talent to drive better outcomes. And it's about this adoption intelligently for knowledge management, productivity gains, to ensure yes, automation of certain tasks, but more time for the human to really drive outcomes. To give you an example, we do a lot of collections around the world, and ethically having a orchestration between an agentic AI collection and a human talent for more complex cases is the perfect symbiosis. So we really see that AI not just automates routine tasks, but really offers the room for more complex services with the human talents.
And perhaps a question for all of you, because we're all trying to learn, aren't we, from each other as much as anything else. So what lessons do you think other organizations can take from your approach to scaling AI? Dirk?
No, we see that I think once the people are not afraid of using the new technology, we see very fast progress in all different processes along our daily work that we can automate, that we can improve. We see that we can reduce operation costs for our customers, so we have a constant improvement towards the operations of our machines. But what also is important is we use it for knowledge sharing. We're currently building a platform that will enable us to transfer knowledge from baby boomers to the next generation. As I said, we have sometimes equipment out that lasts for 80, 100 years and more, and sometimes this only returns every 20, 30 years for maintenance, and we don't have people that have before worked with that equipment. So we start now building a platform where we use cameras, microphones, and modern cameras, and we automate the learning from these experts to transfer it into a knowledge sharing platform so that in 10 or 20 years when it's needed, we have access to the knowledge how we treated this special equipment and how we can use that for the generations to come. Also, what we see very often is we say if Voith knew what Voith knows, and we see that we do in many places the same thing without knowing from each other. So by now having a platform where we can have a chatbot where you can ask, is anyone else in the company working on similar problems? You get answers across the whole 227 sites that we have on a global site. So we try also to optimize the resource use, and with that, of course, have a more efficient approach to our customer.
Thank you. Guillaume?
So for us, I mean, we are at the beginning of our journey, but in terms of learnings, maybe a few of them. First of all, confidentiality is very important. We are treating proprietary information. We need a confidential environment to do that. Still open, but in the same time confidential with our proprietary data. Speed, extremely important. We are in a competitive field. All those tools are available to everybody. The difference is going to be made by those who are going to be able to implement it faster. Adoption, super important. We are a decentralized organization, and for us it's not about having the smartest tools, it's about having simple tools co-developed with users, which can be adopted by the biggest number of employees and fast. You know, a fourth learning for me, quite important, is that you have to couple that with thinking about how you are organized, about organizations. If you want to transform potential productivity into real productivity, you probably also need to change your organization, and AI is such a game changer that it probably justifies that. And the last learning for me is that, you know, it leads us also to rethink the way we look in a broader way at our IT infrastructure. For example, we used to think that having as little as possible systems in terms of ERP was very important. Today, with the additional layers that we can create thanks to AI for having systems talk to each other, it's not necessarily the same kind of direction that we are taking. So a few learnings, but we will continue undoubtedly to learn along the way.
Thank you. Thomas?
For us, as we are a B2B services company, it's not just having an AI tool, but bringing AI to life in an enterprise environment, which is sometimes very difficult. So what we really believe in is co-creating and working together with our clients, which are the largest companies in the world, on developing and enhancing, adopting AI, like the conference says, in enterprise environment, scalable, secure, and safe. And we have done this last year with more than 400 AI projects together with our clients. Second dimensions, as you also mentioned, is about training our people. So we launched a company-wide AI training program. I'm sure many of the participants do this, but at the same time, we also launched a company-wide training program for human empathy, because we believe it's not just about having the knowledge about AI to make it work, but also strengthen the human ingenuity and the human knowledge that goes alongside this. So that's why we focus on both elements at the same time.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about collaboration and teamwork. Guillaume, how is an AI enabling Rexel to transform within in support of its teams?
Excuse me?
How are you enabling AI to support your teams in transformation within?
Yeah, in general, it's extremely powerful in terms of working together. I mean, AI, especially when you talk about this population of inside sales, it changes completely the way they can collaborate together and the way we can share knowledge. As I was explaining, the ability today not to depend on a few experts, but to be able to share this knowledge and to spread this knowledge across all the company is opening completely new avenues in terms of collaboration and in terms of speed. Speed is extremely important, speed of response to the customer.
Yeah, Dirk, in traditional industries, driving innovation can be a challenge. So how do you try and foster trust and engagement amongst your teams while also, for clients, pushing for change?
Yeah, I think it's the agility of our teams, and if our people are confident using these tools, then we of course see it also on the customer side. It's not that easy, especially for condition monitoring. A lot of our customers want to use only systems on premise, which of course is contradicting the idea of AI being in real time responsive. But once they see the win-win situation, once they see the benefit by being able to react immediately to any kind of problem in the process, then slowly they see and adapt to open up to be connected. A lot of our clients are afraid of cybersecurity problems, and as a paper machine or a hydropower plant costs hundreds of millions of euros, they are of course very sensitive of not being attacked. But they also see the progress, they see the operations running much more efficiently if you're real-time connected. And of course with the new service that we can provide using AI, they also see that the operation costs go significantly down. And as they are living in a very competitive environment, this reduction of operation costs is always a very important argument to again then also tolerate new approaches and being connected in real time.
Thank you. Thomas, similar question to you. How is TP's leadership fostering trust and collaboration across a very large and diverse workforce?
So obviously trust is the energy, the engine for any collaboration. As you said, we are a truly global organization in 100 countries, so we have to respect local nuances, local cultures, but we have to work on the same operating system, the same way how we interpret data, how we interpret operations. So we build over the years a common language around how we want to work together, and obviously now with analytics, AI and data, we have the chance also to share and have a more common bound how we look at data jointly and to generate insights that can be then used across the world.
So let me ask you all, as leaders of fairly diverse firms but large organizations, perhaps what do you see as your biggest challenges, and also any advice and perhaps lessons learned of mistakes you may have made along the way? Guillaume?
In terms of biggest challenges, frankly, it's about adoption. Very much about that, about speed of adoption, about really collaborating with our employees to develop as fast as possible those tools which are going to be exactly useful at the right moment in terms of AI. In terms of biggest challenges, it's very much about speed. It's very much about speed to market, and that's what to me is the most important parameter.
And any lessons learned along the way for you that you'd like to share?
The lesson learned for me are really about organizational changes. If you do AI, if you adopt AI without thinking about how to change your organization to adapt to the new world, you're probably going to unlock 1/4 of the benefits. The reality is that you need to couple that with a deep thinking about what it changes to the way you want to organize your, for us it's going to be the inside sales organization, the outside sales organization. But if you don't do that, if you use it as just an additional productivity tool, then chances are that you are going to miss the goal.
Thank you. Thomas?
I completely agree what you said. It's about speed, but one idea resonated quite deeply with me, what the prior speaker, Ivan from Notion, talked about, that AI is at the stage where they're just replacing the water mill. And I think one lesson for all of us, how do we think out of the box for all the other use cases AI can do? It's not just replacing something that has been done before manually, but what are the use cases we can leverage AI for new opportunities that we haven't thought about before? And I really see that there's something that's called the Javan's paradox. A new technology comes in, it's being adopted and widely used, and by doing so, like electricity, the prices come down and there are many more use cases for applying this technology. And I do believe that we live in exciting times where we can do exactly this, not just replacing an existing task, but see multiple, thousands, millions of different use cases of AI in our existing businesses. So that's, I think it's quite exciting.
And any mistakes along the way that you'd like
every day.
Any particular ones that other people could avoid if they heard you speak today?
I think you have to think out of the box and experiment. And of course, in the experiments, things will go wrongly, and then you repeat and try again. I think it's human nature, and even more so now in the age of AI.
You have to experience the failures yourself.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, Dirk.
I think, first of all, as Thomas said before, we have to build trust. We also have to be realistic, because many of the AI projects fail, more than are successful right now. So we have to also be careful and not over-promising, because at the same time we scare our employees about the speed, how we want to transform, how we want to change. In reality, it's not as fast as it seems sometimes. And we have also to build confidence for our employees that there will be a way forward where they are still needed in the collaboration with AI. There are many changes. We can automate a lot of the tasks, we can improve life for many people, but we also create jobs at the same time. But we also have to build trust about, currently a lot of over-promising is happening, and we see a lot of AI projects fail. So we have also to be conservative sometimes and assessing carefully where we apply and how we sell it. Because I think at the end, it's all about taking the teams with us. We have 23,000 people. If I lose them, we can apply AI as we want, but we will not be successful to our clients. So we have to take also the education to the next level, and there we spend a lot of money, as you do, in order to elaborate and educate our teams to master these tools going forward and understand it's not automatically taking their jobs away.
Is that what you mean by trust, making sure that everybody's informed and educated?
That they feel comfortable in applying it day by day, and they do. They use Copilot, they use ChatGPT, in all of our employees use it. We train them to use it and to see the benefits coming out of that. But it's becoming a natural habit of using it, like you used Google before. So people use AI during the day many times, and sometimes they don't even recognize it anymore, that they use AI.
So just got 2 minutes left. I just want to ask you all for if you could share perhaps a couple of take-homes for our audience that you want them to go home maybe to think about, or maybe they can apply when they're looking at driving operational efficiency and customer experiences with AI. A few thoughts. Who wants to go first so I don't pick on anyone? Guillaume. Oh, go on. Dirk.
No, I believe AI is transforming the world, and we cannot avoid it, and will be, especially for our customers, it will make operations better, it will reduce cost, it will reduce CO2 emissions. We will see positive aspects all over our current portfolio, and digitalization will play a major role in preparing the company for the next decade. Is it revolutionary at all times? In many cases not. It's more an evolution. But I believe we have to constantly to train our people to go along. And we have to also to train our customers, because not all customers are digital natives by definition.
Absolutely. Thomas?
Maybe one thought for the audience. We have a paradigm in the organization that if we develop a new AI tool for our clients, we as TP want to be customer zero, so apply it for us first. And for the audience, I would go one step further. You as an individual have to be customer zero. So try every day, I don't know how often you use this AI in your daily tools. In almost every task you can do, there's a way to incorporate AI, and then I think it will change the way how you operate, how you look at things, how you prepare for a meeting, prepare for a review, whatever it is, try to incorporate AI in your daily life, and then for the company and then for your clients.
So it becomes second nature, like using the internet is now?
Yes, you have to do it yourself. If you don't do it yourself, how can you do it for the company?
Look, for me, no particular thought, but from time to time when I talk to investors, I have the question of is it real, is it really transformative, or is it just another fashionable hype, etc., etc. I can tell you that seen from my window, and I'm not getting excited by technology that easily, it's clearly transformative. It's clearly transformative of my sector and probably of all the other sectors that I deal with. So we are talking about something which is major, and my recommendation is to be extremely quick at addressing it and addressing it with the maximum priority.
Gentlemen, thank you all so much. Thank you.